Here with Ray Financial Services. I want to thank you for joining my live stream. I'm just going to give it a few minutes before I start, just to see if more people are going to log on. So we'll just bear with me for a few minutes. Let me turn my phone off for a minute. I apologize for that. Hopefully, you guys are having a great week. It's almost Friday, thank goodness, right? TGIF. Do you have any plans for the weekend? We don't have too many plans, but I know Saturday we're probably going to go and take the kids to see Sonic 2. So that should be a lot of fun. Looking forward to, for those of you who are in school or have kids in school, are you guys looking forward to spring break? I know we are. So if you feel like chatting or if you feel like asking a question, go ahead and definitely type a message and I will go ahead and respond to questions at the end. If you don't have any questions that you want to type and post publicly, then you are welcome to send me an email. I'm going to go ahead and put that in the chat right now. Okay, so Denitza at ravefinancialservices.com. That's my email. And then I also put in my website in the chat box, ravefinancialservices.com. And I also put my Facebook group in there for credit repair, tax knowledge, tax strategy, so on and so forth. Okay, well, we're going to go ahead and get started. So tonight I am going to discuss with everybody the student loan repayment pause that happened. I believe this is approximately number 7 that has happened since March of 2020 when our prior President Trump pushed it forward in one of the CARES Acts. So the Biden-Harris student loan pause, as I'm sure you've all heard all over media, it's extended the student loan repayment to August 31st of 2020 at this time. We're unsure if he's going to extend that any longer. We're not sure if these are steps that are going to be taken to eliminate student debt completely. Everything is up in the air on that so far. But just to go over what the pause includes or the freeze of payments include, it includes repayments, it includes any accruing interest, and it includes collections or debt collectors contacting you and harassing you like they love to do until August 31st of 2022. So everybody has a few more months to take a deep breath and exhale and relax and get all of your ducks in a row and your planning going for the upcoming potential repayment that's going to happen after August 31st. Okay. So the benefits of this program and of all the other 6 program freezes, it's allowing the student borrower more time to prepare themselves for repayment. You know, the economy just opened up again not too long ago. Everyone is going back to work. Well, they should be going back to work because more and more businesses are open. And all of the restrictions have been lifted, or probably most of them have been lifted. I know in California there's still some restrictions that haven't been lifted yet. We're still kind of like, last I heard, we have some state of emergency still there. So, but regardless of that, so more people are getting back into the workforce. Okay, so that means people are making money again. So the government is saying, well, since everyone's going back to work, then hopefully after August 31st, they'll be able to start making a plan to get these loans paid off, okay, or in process of getting paid off. So that's one of the benefit of this freeze. It's allowing everybody to get a few more moments of breath before they have to repay. Okay. So you definitely want to start making a plan now on how you plan on resuming payments. Okay. Another benefit to this freeze or loan pause is it's essentially what they're saying, it's giving a fresh start to those who have borrowed loans and that still owe on loans, are defaulted on loans. Um, Once the freeze is over, over 7 million borrowers will no longer have to deal, and that's a rough estimate that I found on studentloans.gov. Um, they'll no longer have to deal with wage garnishments, will not have to deal with your social security benefits being withheld, and no collections will resume on those defaulted loans because they're not technically going to be in a default status any longer. So they're giving a fresh start, kind of like it's a brand new loan, even though it's not, it's your same loan. There's 5 student loan types that are eligible, which I'm going to go ahead and discuss. I am looking down every so often because I have notes. I just want to make sure I hit everything and I don't want to miss any of this information for you guys. So the first eligible student loan type is the direct or plus loan. If you are unfamiliar with that, a direct loan or a plus loan is basically any loan that was taken out directly with the DOE, which is the acronym for Department of Education. Okay, so they are the ones that hold your direct loans and your plus loans. Okay, and there's 2 portions to these loans. You have the unsubsidized loan and you have the subsidized loan. So the difference between sub and unsub is the interest you don't have to pay on while you're in school for the subsidized portion. Interest is still accruing. Interest is always accruing, but it's accruing while you're in school. So you're not having to pay for it. Should you maybe pay for it if you can? I definitely suggest that because that will lessen what you owe later on. And then the unsubsidized portion is the portion of interest that is accruing, and you should be making payments for that out of pocket. Okay. And that will only be beneficial to you in the long run. And it's not even very much. It's like, I believe when I was in school, when I was paying years and years and years ago, when I was paying on my unsubsidized loans, I want to say the interest was maybe $20 to $40 a month. So really not that bad. And I highly encourage, if you're able to pay on your sub and unsub loan, at least the interest. Okay. Because the interest is really what kills you at the end. It's really not the principal. The interest rates, okay, for the direct loan is at this time 3.73%. Okay. Now, the plus loan, which is a loan that a parent takes out, should they so choose, because maybe your student is going to a for-profit college and like it's really expensive tuition, and your tuition as a student with the subsidized and unsubsidized loan doesn't cover what you need, then your parent would take out a plus loan. Okay, so that's a plus loan. It's an additional loan to what you're taking out already with the federal government. That interest rate is very high. It's as of today, the rate is 6.28%. And it's one of those loans where if your parents take out this loan, please be sure you pay it back. Because if you don't pay it back, your parents are going to be stuck footing that entire bill after they graciously signed the loan for you so you can go to school and pay for your classes and your books or what have you. Okay. And then you have the direct graduate interest rate. The direct graduate interest rate is obviously for your graduate degree. So no longer are you in the undergrad degree, you're now going to get your master's degree. And that interest rate is, as of today, when I looked it up, is 5.28%. Okay. So then you have the FELP loan, which is short for Federal Education Loan Program. Okay. And that loan is held with the DOE, again, acronym for the Department of Education. Okay. And those are private for the private loan companies out there. So the DOE is holding those loans and they're private loans. Okay. So those interest rates can be very pricey, very expensive because the interest rates are variable. So I don't even really have a number to give you for that. Okay. Then you have number 3, which is the federal Perkins loan. And those are loans also held by the DOE. Okay. And those are subsidized loans that are for those who are very, very need based. Okay. But the interest for that, for taking out a federal Perkins loan, is very high. It's higher than that of a regular direct loan. The interest rate as I looked it up today, is 5%. Okay. Then you have number 4, the other type of student loans that's eligible is your defaulted FELP loans, again, acronym for the Federal Education Loan Program, FELP. Okay, those are eligible if they are not held by the DOE, Department of Education. And then finally, you have the 5th type of loan that's eligible for the loan pause, and that is HEAL loans, HEAL, Health Education Assistant loans. And basically, it's for nurses. Okay. The interest rates for that, I won't even give you a quote because I don't really know, because those change every single quarter. Okay. So there's no set percentage for that. It's just per quarter that the interest change. Now, there's definitely loans that are ineligible for the student loan pause, and I'm going to tell you what they are now. 1, any non-defaulted FELPs that are not held by the DOE. Okay. 2, any federal Perkins loans not held by the DOE. So if it's held by some other entity. Okay. Non-defaulted HEAL loans. So if you have a HEAL loan, you cannot have defaulted on that loan, or else they will not qualify. Okay. And private student loans, which makes sense because private student loans are those held, given privately through banks, other banks such as like Wells Fargo, Chase, Citibank, Union Bank, etc. Okay. So those are the 4 ineligible loan types that are not eligible for the student loan repayment pause. Okay. So probably asking yourself at this point, why the heck is this information useful to me? Like, why do I need it? Well, there's definitely some information that you may not know that I'm going to give you really quickly. And that's a very good question to be asking yourself. If you work in the public sector, okay, you work full-time for the public sector. So if like you're a full-time public school employee, doesn't matter what you are, doesn't matter your position. You can be a principal. You can be in somewhere in administration. You could be a janitor. You can be the lunch lady, a teacher. As long as you are a full-time school employee, doesn't matter your position. And if you're a government employee, including like AmeriCorps or the Peace Corps, if you're an employee for a not-for-profit employers that are tax exempt under Section 501c3 of the Internal Revenue Code, and non-tax exempt employers under the 501c3 of the Internal Revenue Code, but provide a qualifying service. That is a mouthful, I know. But basically, the non-tax exempt would be like your military, your police officers, people like that. Okay. People, and then unions or partisan political organizations, they are not qualified for public sector forgiveness. Okay. And that's useful information for you to know, because when you're under these programs, if the forgiveness freeze or the freezes will not affect your forgiveness. So even though you're not making any payments right now, the cool thing is you are still considered making payments during this time, during the time with all these loan freezes. But there's a caveat. You have to be working still full time for one of those qualified employers. So that is definitely good information that you should know, that not everyone knows. I've helped people with their student loans who had no idea about this. So just a little tidbit there. Okay. Another benefit to knowing this information is, what I suggest is, in my opinion, you should start paying something towards your paused loan. Why? Well, because your loans are no longer getting interest. So it's at a 0% interest rate. So the great news for that is, if you're not defaulted on any of your loans that we spoke about that are eligible for the forgiveness, and you've paid up all of your interest that may have been previously past due, then all of the payments that you're making on your loans, be it the direct loan, the plus loan, the Perkins loan, etc., all those payments are going to pure principal. So that's amazing. So during this time, this entire time that these loans have been frozen for since 2020, so we're going into like over a year of this. If you've been making payments and if you've filled in those blanks, as far as, you're not defaulted and you've paid your interest, then all of your payments that you're making are going straight to principal. So, which feeds off the interest. Okay. So definitely, I highly recommend start making some sort of payments on your loans, okay, while they're in a 0% interest rate. This is an extremely quick and easy way to begin paying down or paying off your loans. So just do it, even if it's like $20, $100, $1,000, $10. I mean, honestly, paying anything helps. Okay. So start doing it. You have until the end of August to do so. So many of you know, some of you may not know if you've just run across this live stream today. I used to work for a for-profit university. Okay. It's a for-profit private university. So as a financial aid employee, so I have a huge interest in all of this stuff. I counseled people on their student loans while working for that university. I've dealt with the FAFSA. I've dealt with scholarships. I've dealt with grants. I've dealt with repayments for many, many, many years. And this stuff still, even though I haven't worked for that university since 2010, I've still stayed in this area, in this realm. And it's just fascinating to me. And I just love it. And I love helping people. So I offer, for those that don't know, financial aid education. I help with the financial aid applications. I have a student loan program that is a completely separate program from my credit repair and my strategic tax planning programs. Okay, that I offer. I offer assistance in student loan consolidating. Okay, I help with repayment options, helping you figure out what we can do for your income-driven repayment plan. I can help you lower your student loan payments and, several other things. Those are just two to name. I can help you with your loan forgiveness. I can help you with your loan discharge. Okay. I can help you on your defaulted loans, not the credit repair portion of the defaulted loans. That would be if you did my credit repair service, but I can help you with your defaulted loans, helping you get into a good status again. Okay. I can help with loan rehabilitation. I can help you do that. Student loan wage garnishments, I can definitely help you with that. A lot of people think that, it's blowing smoke. This doesn't happen. People really don't get their wages garnished. Well, I can tell you from experience, it does. Okay. Personal experience, it does. They will, if you have defaulted so long on your loan, I kid you not, they will contact your employer. So your employer knows what's going on. Well, your HR department, which is embarrassing in itself. So they know because they have to start the wage garnishment process with the government, the DOA. Okay. So it's real. And then tax offsets. I can help you with that. And a tax offset, for those who don't know, it's when the federal government decides to just rip your federal refunds away from you and apply it themselves to any past due loan balances. It happens. It's real. I work in a tax industry. I see it all the time. And it also personally happened to us. I'm not proud of it. I definitely want everyone to know that I've been there. And so that's why I just love helping people and I love this field, because all of my experiences just make me want to help people more. So this happened to us, the tax offset for 2 years. And no, you don't get it back. The only time you would get like a tax offset back is, say you married your spouse. Okay. Your spouse has like tons and tons and tons of student loans. You didn't know that he defaulted on them because we don't run credit checks on our spouses or our significant others, right? We don't do that. So you could file for injured spouse or innocent spouse relief, but that's getting into a whole nother subject. But just know that if that happens to you, there is a recourse that you can have, but you can't have any knowledge about it. That, the person, your spouse, your significant other has defaulted. So that is basically, in a nutshell, the subject that I wanted to speak on you about, which is the student loan pause, how it can affect you, how it will affect you. We went over the 5 eligible student loan types, the 4 ineligible student loan types. We kind of touched on what the student loan forgiveness in the public sector, how, even though you're not making payments on it now because it's frozen, it's still counting as current payments. And, I think that's awesome. So if I will hang out here for a few minutes and see if there are any questions. Again, definitely feel free to contact me if you have any questions, comments that you don't want to post in the chat. Give me 24 to 48 hours and I'll definitely respond back to you. It is tax season. So, I am swamped and inundated with tax returns as well right now. So a little patience is awesome. So again, I put my email address over in the chat. Okay. And that is again, Denitza at ravefinancialservices.com. Okay. My website, it's ravefinancialservices.com. And then you'll also see my Facebook group that if you would like to become a part of, you're more than welcome to join. It's private. I don't have it as public because we do deal with, sensitive and personal information in that group, like shared. I don't divulge anyone's personal information, but like it's a safe place for people to get together, to talk to me, talk to each other about what's going on, with their credit, if they have tax questions, anything financial related. Okay. And if you're interested in my credit repair, definitely contact me at that same email address and I will contact you back. If you're interested in my student loan program, even though right now everything is still paused, it's not going to be paused forever. So we can start making these student loan plans. If you need tax planning, let me know. Tax strategy, because I do that as well. I really hope everybody found this live stream beneficial. So I will give it another minute before I end the live stream. If there is anything that you want me to talk about, do a webinar on, do a live on, or just discuss privately, let me know and we can definitely do that. I do not have a problem with that. Okay. Well, again, it was so nice to be online with you guys. I'm Denitza Rave. I am the owner of Ray Financial Services LLC. Okay. I'm a credit and tax specialist. And thank you so much for joining me. I look forward to hearing from everybody. You have a wonderful night and a wonderful weekend.